So I actually was part of a science experiment 9 months before I was born. I was conceived in a petri dish, a test tube baby, which is a complete misnomer because the egg and sperm are actually brought together in a petri dish, not a test tube at all. The first in vitro fertilization happened in Manchester, England in 1978. And in 1993, the success rate was still less than 25%. So I'm really lucky to be here, and thanks science for making this all possible. When I was 5, we grew monarch butterflies from eggs. And I became the most annoying 5-year-old on the playground. Because everyone was like, whoa, cocoons! There's gonna be butterflies soon! And I went, no. Butterflies come from a chrysalis. Cocoons turn into moths. I had very few friends. When I was 12, I had a pet mold. His name was Milton. I'm not making this up. And for my science fair project that year, I grew mold on different types of bread to try to figure out, this is not going well for me. Is it? I don't know. Anyway. No, this thing. I tried to go mold on all this bread to figure out what preservatives do. And so I was so excited because I was on the hunt for penicillium, which is this fungus that we use to grow penicillin and also blue cheeses. It's very exciting. But what was more exciting was I found out that fungus and mold don't come from the bread. They're actually in the air all the time, all around us right now as spores. They're just waiting for bread to come along and be their nice little moist host. Fascinating. And when I was 16, we started learning about photosynthesis again. And I was like, I got it. It's fun. There's sun, there's carbon dioxide, and there's water, and then we get sugars and oxygen. Oh my god. But then I was like, wait a second. Did you just say that particles of light are colliding with a protein and they're ejecting electrons that get transferred to all these other proteins, and all the while it's pumping protons across a membrane, creating an electrochemical gradient that's powering the rotation of the most incredible machine on Earth? And then they said that light is actually a particle and a wave, and it's this absorption spectrum that makes plants even look green, and I was like, what? Science is so much more complicated and amazing and unknown than I ever expected. So then in undergrad, I studied biophysics. And I did this project where I took this really, really thin glass tube, thinner than a human hair, and I caught worms by the tail with this. And it was so thin that the tube would deflect, and we could measure the nanonewton scale forces of these worms, right? And so I'm like, well, what would happen if we put them in different viscosities? So we put the worms in different viscosities and measured their swimming and all of the forces, and we found that they actually preserve their same power output in all these different viscosities. It's amazing. But I was like, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Am I just going to be catching worms by the tail through a microscope? So then, I did my master's degree in computational biophysics. Did you know that we can actually use computers to solve complex mathematical equations to understand the fundamental physics that's governing these biological machines that are found in all of our cells that are actually controlling and driving the chemical reactions necessary for all of life? Now you know. But it turned out that I actually liked telling people about my research more than I actually liked doing my research. And so when it came time to decide if I was going to do this for another 3 or 10-year PhD, I said no. And I left. And so now I've been having this crisis, because I'm like, who am I? Am I a scientist? What is science? I have these degrees with science in the name, but what even is science? Well, science is not a collection of facts and functions and flowcharts that describe some sort of process. Science itself is a process. It's a way to think, and it's a way to learn, and it's how we can use critical thinking, creativity to understand new evidence and explore the world around us. So I know that I'll always be a scientist because I started out as a real experiment in a petri dish.